Chris, just kind of backs against the wall. Just what did you think overall of the way your team responded when you needed it most?
Well, there was two responses. There was a response to the last three games, but the most important response was when we got down 9-2. And we did a really good job of focusing and coming back with the right energy, getting our defense in place. They were kind of getting loose in transition was what we talked about. So couldn't happen. And we did a really good job there. And once we get our defense in place, we like our chances. So
To kind of encapsulate the whole season, what this team's been about, just in terms of toughness and resilience and sticking with it.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a lot today just about getting our edge back, our swagger, playing a little more free and easy. We felt like we hadn't had our best effort on both sides of the ball yet in this series. I thought we left kind of a lot of meat on the bones offensively the other day. Guys did a good job of reacting to that. We always knew it was going to be a long series coming in. This has proven to be the case. To win it, you got to get four. I didn't say how you got to get them. So should be fun on Sunday.
Chris, what was working for you guys defensively against Mary after he was kind of able to get loose in games 3 through 5?
Yeah, I think attention to detail, just not allowing him to have so much separation. Of course, getting back in transition, where you can actually get into people's bodies, be physical. Just the willingness to keep pursuing. It's tough, It's like pass, chase, screen, get it back, flip the screen. It's multiple things. So we'd been doing that earlier in the series, and we kind of let it slip. So we found that tonight again.
Chris, you often refer to Jaden McDaniels as a barometer for the offense. Were you thinking about that going into this game, and then what stood out to you from his offensive performance?
Just confidence. He played with confidence. He hadn't been shooting the ball well, hadn't necessarily been scoring it for us. But I thought he got a lot of good looks the other day. Of course, they were going to continue to give him good looks. It was his three, I think, that kind of sparked us out of that timeout. We really needed to see that thing go down. And then it was just, play off the catch, make the right play, stay confident. Everything came in the flow of the offense. And he got a bunch of buckets in a lot of different ways, which is for us when that's happening with Jaden, we know we're playing the right way. So
schematically, in terms of how you're guarding Jokic, it seemed like it looked a lot like Game 2 and bringing the doubles from the top side there. You had Rudy in this game, and you didn't have him in Game 2. How did that kind of all come together defensively?
Well, as you know, with a player that great, you just have to give him different looks, and we know what the damage he can do when you leave guys one-on-one, even though Cat's done a pretty good job of fighting him. And it was just literally how we're going to be able to fly around and contest, and we did a good job of that. And I thought they missed some kind of early open ones that if they went in, maybe the game's a little different out of the chute, but they didn't, and we were able to kind of feed off of that.
It's rare that all three of your bigs get double-digit rebounds.
Yeah.
You guys were plus 19 for the game, 5 out of 8 pretty much on your boards. What was it about? Was it part of the way the defense was running?
No, they missed 60 shots, so there's a lot of rebounds to be had out there. We did a pretty good job of that, rebound. I thought there was one spate there in the first half where we didn't rebound particularly well. I think they got a couple threes out of that, but mostly we were able to rebound well. So.
Getting Mike back, how did that impact you guys tonight, and how did he?
Yeah, Mike means everything for us. Just experience, shot making. Unbelievable next to Anthony in terms of being able to set him up, play off of him. Kind of be in his ear all the time. Smart defender. Just everything you want in an experienced veteran point guard, and just the very fact that Ant doesn't have to handle every single time. That alone helps us. So Mike's invaluable. It was great to see him out there. We desperately missed him the other night.
Start of the second quarter, no Ant or Cat on the floor for you. How did you feel like that group on the court handled the offensive side of the basketball?
Yeah, I thought they did great. That's a lineup that we used a lot in the second half of the season to start the fourth quarter, and we found that lineup really clicked. It's a movement lineup. It's a high IQ lineup. Kyle is a really good facilitator alongside Rudy. Nas and Rudy have been a really strong pairing. Nikhil and Mike have also been really good together. So, we have a lot of confidence in that lineup. So.
Chris, with guys like Nikhil, Jaden, Nas, how much of their production comes from the way you guys play, and how much of maybe the way they start games allows you to play the right way?
The way we
like the way they it seems like their early production also frees up confidence and the way the things go. Is it a little bit of a chicken and egg thing sometimes?
I think I mean obviously anybody who plays the game when you see your shots go in early in the game, it's great for your confidence, great for the rhythm. People keep trusting the right play that you're gonna make the shots when they come to you. But it's just about activity. When they're active and their ball is moving. We got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket, and I think with Jaden sometimes getting 10 shots is also a barometer for us. When he gets 10 shots a game, we've been pretty good. So
with Jaden, he certainly had a game like this against Phoenix as well, and he's had some spots. How key would it be if you could get this consistently and obviously a second time on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean for sure. Sometimes they put Jokic on him and they don't guard him. And he doesn't let that bother him. He did a lot of really smart things when that was happening tonight. So, and then he found other ways just to kind of keep staying in the flow offensively. So, hopefully, this gives him the confidence to stack another one.
Any other questions? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Jamal, when they made that 27-2 run in the first quarter, it seemed like you guys were fueling their break a little bit with some of the turnovers, but also just missing shots. How much do you kind of attribute to you guys not executing your offense at the standard you needed to versus sort of just missing stuff that you feel like you can make in Game 7?
Yeah, I mean, we know we're going to make shots. I felt like we generated, especially in the first half, we generated some really good looks, me, even myself, but I think it's just both ends. I think, from experience, Game 6, it's always the hardest. Everybody that team is gearing up to not get eliminated, and they bring that right energy, and they came to play today. So, just like how they punked us in Game 2, we punked them Game 3 and 4. They punked us again in Game 6. So now all that's behind us, and it's just come down to one game.
Jamal, can you pinpoint, where this kind of went off the rails for you guys? I mean, I know you guys started 9-2, and then you gave up a run immediately there. But was there a certain point where it went off the rails, or, was it just one of those games for you guys?
I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and rewatch it, man. But I think it was 9-2 for us to start the quarter. We came out right, and then they fired back, and we never responded. So I would say there probably in the first quarter. Even though we knew that we could cut the lead, we didn't do anything about it or change anything, and not game plan wise, but energy and discipline wise, we didn't change anything to shift the momentum in our favor.
How difficult did Anthony Edwards make it for you when he was checking you?
I mean, who? For me?
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah, for you.
I mean, it was more about my elbow at that point. Every time, even some passes, my arm. But it was more offensively for him. It wasn't him guarding me. He was scoring at the other end, and scoring at a great rate. And then on top of that, Mike Conley, McDaniels had a great game. I think everybody on their team kind of just brought their game today, and we weren't able to defend them and keep them out of our paint or get them off the line. So yeah, we just got to be better. We got to be better.
Jamal, you mentioned your elbow. That happened pretty early, first, second play of the game. So how, challenging was that? And then you had it iced at the end of the game. And so what's your concern level going into Sunday?
I'm just, we got 2 days off, and, it's all behind us now. I just got to get ready and be able to be better for Sunday. Yeah, we just got to be better for Sunday, man.
Jamal, you're the defending champs. You were never pushed to the brink last year. What is your kind of thoughts on a Game 7 you've seen to relish in those kind of moments as you think about it now?
I mean, that's why we fought for home court. You know, we were down 0-2 in the series, and we won 3 games straight. We knew that they're going to respond eventually, and they did tonight. And we didn't hit back. We didn't do anything about it. It's kind of simple as that. So, it's nice that we'll get to regroup, and at least we've given ourselves a chance to win the game on Sunday. So, we'll use the home court advantage to our advantage, and try to keep this thing going.
Jamal, it seems that blowouts don't really carry over and mean anything in the next game. So what's the level of confidence this team has that at Game 7 you'll be able to approach that with a fresh new vision?
I think they carry over even more. I think, when you get beat like we did in Game 2, we carry that over and respond in the right way. And then when we beat them, they responded, and they responded in a big way. So I think it's all about the mindset. Now all that's behind us. All those games that we're talking about, it's all behind us, and now it's just Sunday. Who wins those 48 minutes, and how are we going to do that?
Jamal, what do you want to see your team do when you guys aren't making shots? Like, what do you need to get
Gotta
to?
defend. You just got to be more physical. Own our spots. Early help. Rotating, communicating. I think that's the biggest thing. Every game during the season, you're gonna struggle offensively. But can you stop the other team from scoring when you're doing so? So I think that's our biggest challenge, man. Is just getting stops and runouts, and just playing at our pace that we want to play at. So. Like I said, they had it today. I want to take no credit from Minnesota. They came to play. They brought that energy, and they used the home crowd to their advantage. They all shot. Felt like they all shot well. So, like I said, all that's behind us. Just gotta get ready for Sunday.
Jamal, real quick, with that play with the elbow, was that you like hitting the screen, or was it a landing?
It was a screen.
Okay. And did it feel better throughout the course of the game, at least, or was it pretty much there? Though?
Clearly not. Yeah. I put some numbing cream on it just so I didn't have to feel it every time I extended. Sure. But like I said, man, everybody gets hurt. Ant just got hurt. Sure. Came playing. So it was just the fact that I was shooting the ball, and that's what I do most. So it was just the fact that I was shooting the ball, and that's what I do most. So I was never really get into my rhythm again, and my team obviously needed me to tonight, and I didn't. So it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in myself for not being able to give them the right production that I know I can. So.
Does it feel like the kind of stinger that just with the 2 days off, you feel like you can get over?
I hope. Yeah. I hope for our team's sake. I hope for my team's sake that I can get it right. So.
Jamal, how are you going to be preparing? How are you going to be spending the next 3 days? And do you think you guys will be watching these games, or just forget about them and kind of start with a blank slate, so to speak? And
no, we got to watch it. Got to watch the games. Got to own it. We know we didn't play our best, but that's a sneak peek of what we're going to get Sunday, right? So I think everybody's being locked in and just owning the negativity, man. Like we played terrible. I played terrible. Own it, and let's use that to come out in front of our home fans and play it right way. So we're gonna learn from that film for sure and be better.
Is there going to be pressure, or?
You gotta go. Thanks, Jamal. Appreciate you. No pressure, man. It comes down to one game and who's gonna play better that day. Thanks, Jamal. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Do you have an opening statement or just?
No opening statement.
Michael, when they made that 27-2 run in the first quarter, it seemed like you guys were fueling their break a little bit with some of the turnovers, but also just missing shots. How much did you feel like you guys weren't executing your offense sort of to the standard that you need to, and how much is just like, okay, we can make these shots in a Game 7, we can kind of handle this? It's just a little bit of a variance thing.
Well, yeah, to your point, we started off 9-2. They call a timeout. They go on a 29-5 run. And in that stretch, the two things that stood out to me were, one, the turnovers, to your point, which I said pregame is, you can't do that in this building with that crowd. Give them life, give them energy. And so our offense, the lack of value in the ball was problematic. And then the other thing that was really problematic in that first half, 11 offense rebounds for 15 points. I told the guys at halftime, I said, fellas, if I would have told you before the game that they'd be shooting 42 from the field and 30 from the three-point line, would you have taken it? And they all said, yeah. I says, well, the reason we're getting our ass kicked is because they're not taking care of the ball. You're not rebounding. And we're playing with no physicality and no toughness. And they hit us first, they hit us second, they hit us third. And so you give them credit. They did what they needed to do to keep this series alive and to bring it back to Denver for a Game 7. So disappointing loss. Anytime you get down by 50 in a playoff game, that's never an enjoyable experience. But we have to go home and get back to playing the way we did, where we won 3 games in a row. And I have no doubt that we'll be ready to do that come Sunday.
Michael, how'd you feel about your team's offensive process once you guys did get down big in the first half? It felt like there were a lot of threes going up. Were you good with those looks for the most part, or would you like to have been a little bit more aggressive toward the rim?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at halftime we had 21 threes attempted, and we only made like maybe 4 of them. And it's a fine line because obviously, as I predicted they would, they double-teamed Nikola. Obviously, after a 40-point outburst, they double-team him. So when they put 2 on the ball, you're going to generate some open looks from 3. But it's a fine line, Vinny, of, okay, yeah, we're generating good looks. And I felt early on we didn't make the good looks. And that kind of discouraged us and kind of took away our defensive intensity. We've been so much more aggressive the last 3 games and decisive and assertive the last 3 games than we were today. And I think not making shots kind of had a negative impact on just our overall disposition tonight, which can't be the case. When you are missing shots, you got to dig even deeper and give greater effort. But that just wasn't the case tonight. So we'll watch the film. We'll see what we can do better come Sunday and try to win a Game 7, another Game 7 for us.
Coach, not to pile on about the missed shots, and you mentioned the rebounding. When they're open looks, but there's not as many rebounders or people near the glass, I guess how much is it, a chicken and an egg kind of deal there?
Give me the question again.
Well, I guess I'm saying they're taking open looks, but you had so many guys in the perimeter and almost nobody inside, which then leads to easy rebounds and leads to them going the other way. So is it almost like a false positive that those looks are that open with nobody underneath?
Well, obviously, going 7 of 36 from 3 and shooting 30 from the field is problematic in and of itself. Not making shots, not making open shots. We never, aside from the 9-2 start. Well, I guess to start I left Nikola in to start the second, realizing that this game was about to get away from us. So I'm going to leave him in the game, and we cut it to 11. And then they went on another big run, 13-0, which put it to 24. And then late in that second, I'm saying let's cut it to 14 by the half. Just kind of stay within striking distance. We get a stop. We try to throw a run out, a turnover. They score again. So now we're down, 17 or 19 at the half. But yeah, we can be a lot more. Instead of just all standing on the perimeter, we can be a lot more aggressive to the basket, not just settle for threes. And obviously, to your point, a 62 to 43 rebound margin. That is a 19 rebound differential. And that, to me, speaks volumes about the game and our approach.
Coach, similar to, for Game 5, you guys made Anthony see bodies. And, it seems like Minnesota kind of did the same with Nikola tonight. How did you guys, respond to that? And how much is this series coming down to, not the role players, but the others, performing really well?
Well, it always helps when the others, like people like to call our guys. No. I didn't take it as I understand that. I didn't take it in any negative way. Like for them, McDaniels tonight is by far our best game of the series. He played great. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. Ant's going to give you what Ant's going to give you, and their bench scored 23. Our bench scored 2. So. In Game 5, we were effective getting the ball out of his hands. Tonight, we weren't. And, they knew it was coming, and they did a really good job of moving the ball and attacking behind it. And then with Nikola, obviously after the performance he put on, they said, hey, we're going to double team him. And we have to do a better job of spacing, reacting, and then the bottom line is if they're going to put 2 on the ball, we got to make them pay, and we didn't do that tonight. So they can just stay with that over and over and over again. And just like in Game 5, we put 2 on Ant, and they didn't make us pay, and it was effective. Tonight it wasn't. So the good thing is we'll go home, again, watch this film, and understand there are going to be things that we can do differently from a game plan standpoint. But to me, the much bigger issue is we have to do a lot better job of being locked in and ready to play in a Game 7. And again, those are the 2 greatest words in sports, Game 7. So hopefully our guys in front of an amazing crowd will be ready to go, and we have the intangibles the way we've had them for the last 3 games prior to tonight.
One more.
I just wanted to follow up on that. What is your experience in Game 7s, and what do you expect on Sunday? Just the unique nature of that game.
Well, our experience is pretty positive. So I'll leave it at that. Do your homework.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, appreciate it.
And you guys are facing elimination coming in here. Like, what do you think led to just the response that you guys had tonight?
Shit, we got Mike Conley back. That was it.
What does he bring to the table that just means so much to you guys?
I mean, 3 for 6 from 3. 13 points, just efficient. He always gonna make the right play.
This team does seem to have a toughness about it that whenever you're down, you pick yourselves back up. What do you think leads to that?
Guys just believing in themselves. I think the last 3 games we was all down on ourselves, like just trying to point the finger, blame somebody. And then I think today, before the game, the coaches, the whole staff, like they did a great job of putting a clip together as far as like the plays that we made, the 2 games that we won against these guys, and everybody like started to believe after that little edit that they put together, and I can tell the energy shifted after that little edit. So that was big time. I told them that was big time putting the edit together.
And coming into this game, how did you approach it? Like, what were you thinking that you needed to do in this game coming into it?
Me individually, just shoot it every chance I get. Honestly, yeah. I don't think I shot it enough. I'm looking at it. I only shot 17 times, but we won, so I don't care. But yeah, just shoot it every chance I get. Because last game they took the ball out of my hands.
I was going to ask about the other guys who then got a lot of shots. I think between you, Rudy, and Kat, I think you guys were 16 of 35 together, and you got a lot of help from everybody else. How did you see that come together?
Bro, Jaden played great tonight. He took 10 shots and had 21. Yeah, he was fantastic tonight. Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to him. He's the X factor of the team. I think everybody knows it. When he plays well, we win. I don't know the percentages, but I mean, I feel like when Jaden plays well, can't nobody beat us. So I mean, him playing like that tonight, it was crazy.
And what's the difference between you bringing the ball up and Mike or somebody else bringing the ball up and you being on the wing? Does your mindset change? How does it work?
I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, because last game I was trying to get people involved and be aggressive. But when Mike playing, I don't have to worry about getting people involved. That's his job. So, yeah, tonight it was no getting people involved for me. I don't think I had that many assists tonight. Yeah. Oh, I had 4. So I did what I needed to do.
Ant was hoping to get your early thoughts on Sunday. They call it the 2 greatest words in sports, Game 7, with a 1-game opportunity to knock out the defending champs. Just how do you look at it?
Like you said, they're the defending champs. So it's going to be super tough. They're home. They're at the crib. They fans is crazy. It's going to be super loud. But, I mean, I feel like as a competitor, it's like one of the best feelings in the world. I've never played a Game 7 on the road, but all my playoff experiences on the road has been, like, super fun because nobody's on your side. So I can just imagine how this game will be and, like, the fans. So I'm super pumped for it. Like, I'm super happy. I'm ready to play it.
As a leader, how do you try not to get high on these moments as far as blowing them out tonight, going to that Game 7, just to carry it over?
I mean, I wouldn't. It's hard not to get high, I would say, but I think that's a good question. I think it's just you got to understand that we was here. We won 2 games in Denver, and then came here and got spanked the next 3 games in a row. So I think it should be easy for us now to understand, like, just because we beat these guys don't mean that we're going to beat them again. We got to come out and play with the same level of aggression. And if we do that, we'll be successful.
And you
Going down? Oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah. My tailbone, pretty much. Yeah.
that was pretty much going to be my question. Just what was the moment, like for you, just being on the ground, like you were there for a minute, the crowd hushed, your teammates crowded around you. Were you just trying to gather yourself, gather sort of like the shock of the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I fell pretty hard. And I'm used to falling like that in football when I got on pads and stuff, so I'm well protected. I didn't have any pads on tonight, so I felt that one for sure. So, yeah, I mean, it took some time for me to get used to the pain, but, I'm good now.
And talk about the decision to put Karl Anthony Towns on Jokic, and how do you think that impact?
He's been guarding him. He's been guarding him the whole series. Yeah. He's been doing an outstanding job the whole series. Yeah, that's always been a matchup. Every time we come out, Cat is on Jokic, so it wasn't new today. I think the main thing today was his ass stayed out of foul trouble like I told him in the Phoenix series. That was all that was. Yeah, I mean, I cussed him out. Every chance I get, bro. Stop fucking fouling. Like, I think you guys see it. Like, if Cat don't foul, we pretty much can win the game every time. And tonight, I mean, he had 3 fouls, but he only had 3. He didn't have 5. So I told him today, like, we thankful that you didn't foul, because if you foul, we lose. Because you the best matchup we got for Jokic. Like, you do the best job on him. You know what I mean? We come in to double, but you do the best job standing up to his first dribble. And he did that tonight, man. He only took 10 shots. We counted on him making the right play. This morning, we was all on him, like, bro, you got to make the right play. We're going to play off of you in the post tonight. Like, they have no matchup. And he did an outstanding job of just making that easy pass. And when they don't double, he was aggressive. And, yeah, man, Cat played great tonight on both sides of the ball.
And you talked about the frustration after the 3 games. Was that a new experience for this group in terms of being low in big-time games like this? And is there, like, growth and kind of a maturity that comes with coming out? And having
honestly, man, I don't think we was low. I mean, from hearing the guys throughout the gym and shoot around before Game 5, before this game, nobody was, like, down on themselves, pretty much. I think we always believed that we could compete with this team. And it showed tonight. I mean, it showed tonight, man. We played great as a team.
Everyone knows you can score. What kind of pride, or how did you embrace the challenge of checking, guarding Jamal as much as you did?
It's what I look forward to. I think I don't know how long ago I said I want to be the best player on both sides of the ball in the NBA. And like I told her, I think it was probably 2 years ago. It's something that I've been working on, and it always comes with being in shape. And it seems like towards the end of the season, I always tend to get in my best shape, and I wasn't tired at all chasing him around and following him everywhere he went and contesting all his shots. And he's a great player, man, and I feel like I did a good job tonight.
Did you really tell the locker room staffer in Denver you were going to be back for
Hell
games?
Yeah. They know I was in there. Yeah, I told them. I said, I'll see y'all motherfuckers for Game 7. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, we have Jaden as well. Yeah, right.
Jaden, just how did it feel to kind of finally see some shots go through and come through the way that you did when this team needed you the most?
It felt good. I mean, just not wanting to go home was a big factor for me today, and just trying to do whatever I could to help my team.
how do you navigate kind of through a game as shots start falling? Does the confidence just rise and seeing those first couple go down, did that help you kind of really build on it?
Yeah, I would say I get more confidence as the shots go in, but it's just staying even keel, even if I miss like a couple in a row, just knowing that I'm capable of making shots and just keeping that confidence instilled in myself.
Jaden, Ant just told us about a film edit that the coaching staff showed you guys prior to the game where you got to see how well you guys looked in the wins against Denver, and he thought that it lifted the group, your confidence, your spirits. What effect did it have on you, and what was how effective of a move was that from the coaches?
It was like kind of a hype video. I mean, it had a good effect on us, just showing like that we were able to compete with these guys, and like we've done it before, like we've won games. So just being able to see that and just trying to recreate the things we've seen on the video, like they showed the trap, me and the kill trapping Jamal, and just us getting out in fast breaks, playing like Timberwolves basketball. So just it was a good video. I think it was a great idea from them.
You guys were down 9-2, called timeout, and kind of reiterated, turnovers, transition. But Finch said a turning point was when you hit that three. You'd missed one of your first shots was a three, same place. How did it feel, and did you feel like things begin to shift after you hit that shot?
Yeah, a little bit. Just staying confident in it, and I just knew like I missed one earlier in the same spot. So just really locking in on the shot, and then just kind of having a short-term memory, not worrying about like the last misses and stuff like that. So.
Does it feel like you've played these guys 10 times?
Yeah, it feels like this like the 30th time for real, but hey, this is what you got to do to win, so I'm for it.
Jaden, just how big was Mike tonight? Ant said pretty much getting him back was a difference.
Yeah, I would say Mike's always good to us, whether he's running the show. But tonight you see he was aggressive, and like that's the Mike we need, just making shots and then just making the other team guard all of us. So we're so versatile, and I just say Mike being himself, really.
Jane, it looked like in Game 5 that they had just solved your defense, that they had figured it out and knew exactly where to attack. What do you think was the difference tonight in allowing you guys to get back to where you were at the start of the series and all season long?
I'll probably say our activity and just like when we would go trap Jokic, how we would trap him, just like the physicality and the intensity and like our defense of just, you see they got a bunch of like offensive rebounds, but on the catch, like on the kickouts, we was right there. It's like in sync with them. So just flying around and keeping that defensive intensity throughout the game.
What are your early thoughts on the opportunity ahead of you? One game on the road, Game 7, with a chance to beat the champs.
Then really just kind of try and recreate this game we had today and just do whatever we can to win. I mean, it's our last go around with this team, so just try and show who the better team is.
Any other questions for Jaden?
Thank y'all.
Questions?
Nicola, how do you guys just kind of wash a game like this away when, just kind of nothing goes right for you and everything goes right for them?
I think we shouldn't. I think we need to sink in. Like, it's a great loss. They beat us, they destroy us, and we should learn it. And you need to give them respect. They came out and actually we had like 9-2 score, right? Fun. Didn't look good for them in that period, But since then, it was a one-team show. So I'm gonna take this as a great loss.
Well, and Nicola, to that end, I guess I saw online because I wasn't paying that close attention. Did you stand the entire fourth quarter, and what was sort of the thought behind that?
Just to be warm so I can lift after.
This is a native language, Nikola. Prvo čestitam za uručenje MVP nagrade na prošloj utakmici uz fenomenalno možda da li to bilo tvojih najboljih utakmica ikada, a evo da kažem kako si doživio ovu i nekad mi se čini da su bile oscilacije, nekad kad smo se bojali da ćete izgubiti, vi ste pobedili, kad smo mislili da sigurno ćete pobediti, niste pobedili.
Pa da, sigurno ova serija je jedna interesantna. Pre početka sam rekao da će biti interesantna, gde bukvalno svaka ekipa može da iznenadi da li na domaćem, da li na gostujućem terenu, tako da i 7. utakmica može da ode na jednu i na drugu stranu. Današnja utakmica je bila, mi se nismo pojavili, jednostavno bili su u svakom segmentu bolji od nas. Nismo pogađali, nismo kreirali otvorene šuteve, dali smo 60-70 poena. Njihova odbrana je bila fantastična, tako da mislim brojke govore same za sebe, tako da nemamo mi tu šta da dodamo.
Nikola, talking to people around the team, they say the only difference they ever noticed from you in the playoffs is maybe a little more focus. I guess, do you do anything special to make sure you're mentally as sharp as you can be?
No, I prepare for the game like every other game. I think I know all the calls, all the plays. For me, it's just another game.
And were you always able to treat every game the same, or is that something that from childhood on?
Maybe not from childhood, but since I came in the league and like I'm gonna say like my 4th, 5th year, when I had my like minutes and I know what I'm gonna do, and then I know my place first, and then start learning about their other teams' plays, actions.
Nikola, you have experience winning Game 7s, playing in Game 7s. What are you expecting in terms of atmosphere, and how do you win in those situations?
I mean, it can go one way or another. I think that's why this series is interesting, because every team can win and lose, and like depends how the game's gonna open up. When you think about it, basically the only kind of interesting game was Game 1 when we lost, when it was like kind of close. Game 2 they blow us out. The Game 4 we blow them out. Game 5 so basically, hopefully we're gonna blow them up in Saturday, Sunday. So it's gonna be interesting, I think.
Nikola, was there anything different about the way they doubled you tonight compared to the rest of the series?
Yes, they didn't double me last couple games, so they doubled me today. But I think we created good shots most of the time, so we just didn't knock them down.
Nikola, možda nepotrebno pitanje, ali da li će možda sve biti na tome koliko igrači žele pobjede? Ti s njim pričaš tako koliko žele, da li isto kao prošle godine ili?
Pa mislim da ekipa želi sigurno, mislim ko želi da izgubi normalno, ali želja jedno, sigurno moraš da budeš na neki način fokusiran i da znaš što radiš na terenu, ali ako hoćeš da pobediš, sigurno želja je na prvom mestu.
Nikola, you mentioned the good looks, and Coach talked about it, but he said maybe sometimes you were settling and there wasn't enough rebounding help or rebounders. So how much of it is that those are good shots, they just didn't go in? And
I mean, yes, it's not like we had tons of good shots. They're amazing. They're a really good defensive team. They're number 1 defense in the NBA for sure, for a reason. And but we show ourselves that we can create good ones, and we can beat that team. So there is a good quote in Serbian, but I don't know how to translate about the shot. I'm gonna try to remember for next this session.
Nikola, you said this was a great loss. Can you just elaborate on what that means? Like, what do you mean by it being a great loss?
It's a great, they beat our ass. They were better than us in every segment of the game, and we need to accept it. Take it, and just try to be better next time. When you lose by 45, it's not like something happens every day. So just accept it, I'm cool with it.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, pleasure to cover, guys.
Appreciate it.